Hi guys, hope you're having a wonderful day so far. I am working on a 12 by 12 page this time, and I am backing this cut file, and I don't remember where I got the cut file. I think I've just had it in my library of things for quite some time, so I can't really send you guys a link to let you know where that is, but there's a lot of cut files that look like this with a cluster of flowers. And I'm just taking some scrapbook paper and backing these leaves here, and making the cut file just beefed up a little bit more. I like backing the cut files, it's a lot of fun. So I'm just tracing what I need to cut out, gluing it down with my little fine liner bottle, and then I'm just trimming around the edges of that. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of that with these two leaves, and then I'll fast forward to show you what the final result looks like, because it's a little boring watching this, but it's super simple. I think this is pretty therapeutic. I love backing the cut files. It does take some time, but I enjoy it. So I'm just kind of finishing this up here. There's some overlap, so I'm just taking my little cutter bee scissors and trimming off the excess. And some of this, once you start getting some of the other flowers on, will be covered up by what you already have, so you don't need to do quite as much trimming that you have to do in the beginning. These cutter bee scissors are really great too because they have a really sharp little point and you can really get into those little spots. So after this is all done, I am going to figure out what cardstock I want to use for the background, and I really like this blue. It's not quite the same color as the shirts that we're wearing, but I just really like the contrast of that dark navy color with the photo and the white of the outline of the cut file. So I decided to use this. These are pieces from an old Scraptastic kit. I think I just had a little bit left, mostly stickers and things, and that's why I chose to use the cut file, because then you can use a lot of your scraps up that you have maybe left over in a kit where you don't have a lot of paper, but you can get a lot of interest on your page because of the cut file and backing it. So that's a good solution if you don't have a lot of a kit left, but you want to use up those little pieces. So you can just see there, I put a ton of foam on the back of this. I wanted to pop it up, and now I'm just trying to figure out how I want the picture. Now at first I have it like this, where the picture's at the top, and then the cut file is kind of towards the bottom, if you will. And then later on you're going to see I'm going to switch this up. But right now I'm just kind of going through my paper, trying to figure out how I want to back this, and I do end up going with, I think it's a star paper. I think it's this paper right here, yeah. And I will use that to back the picture. And I just want to separate it a little bit more from the background because of the dark colors in the photo. You kind of get lost between the background and the photo. So adding a little bit of an edge here just kind of separates it a bit. So I'm just trimming that out with my regular trimmer. And I'm just adding a little bit of an edge. I don't want too much of a border. I usually, when I do these, have pretty thin borders on my photos. Sometimes I even print my photos with a white border. It just kind of depends where I'm getting my photos printed. I think these may have come from like Costco or something like that. I don't remember. If I get them printed at Persnickety, I typically have a white border. So here you can see that I've kind of flipped my design. I thought it'd be more fun to kind of turn it this way. Plus, I don't know if you can kind of tell, but in that top left part of the photo, there's a person, and I kind of want to cover up their face so they weren't as distracting. So I used that flower that was part of the cut file to kind of cover up the person's face. So I thought that worked really well. Now I'm just going through the little leftover pieces that came in the kit, trying to figure out what I want to put. And I had these butterflies cut out from some other past layout, and I thought I would use them on this layout. And instead of just keeping them white, because they definitely blended in a lot with the cut file, I'm going to take some of my sprays and spray them. And you're not going to see a whole lot of me spraying this, but basically it was just wetting the butterflies down with some water and then adding a couple colors onto the butterflies. Nothing too fancy, just trying to pick out my colors and get that color on there, drying them off, and then plopping them on the page. So I'm going to use some blues and some like yellow colors and oranges. So you can just see there that I use a couple different colors, just kind of blot it up a bit, dry them off, and voila, you have colored butterflies. So I really like how those turned out. That was a lot of fun. So I'm going to put those kind of scattered across the page. And I do bend them up just a little bit. They're probably going to fall or smash down in the album, but that's okay. It still gives a little bit of dimension to them, and I will layer a couple of them up, like this one over here. I thought the blue and the gold would look pretty together. And then on the left-hand side, I just kind of have the colors single over here. And just trying to find a place that they kind of contrast on the page compared to the rest of the cut file and things like that. So now I'm just gluing everything down, and I am going to use some thread. I believe I use silver thread, and I'm going to kind of throw that around the layout in different places. I thought this layout looked like it needed a little bit more texture other than the paper texture. So you'll see here in a little bit that I'm going to end up adding some kind of balled up thread and some just threads in different places. And I just really like how that kind of adds some more dimension to this layout. So right now I'm just using my fine liner bottle. It has Scotch Quick Dry glue in it, and I got that fine liner bottle from Hobby Lobby, but you can also get it on Amazon. If you have any questions about the glue or the fine liner bottle, just leave those in the comments below. So while I'm gluing all that down, I just want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you are enjoying the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe. I try to put a video up. I try once a week, but with life it is a little hard. I have an 11-year-old, so life can be pretty crazy between work, school, 11-year-old drama, all that fun stuff. So I try to put a video up maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. So make sure you definitely subscribe for that. And if you ever have any comments, leave those below. I love chit-chatting with you guys. So if you want to leave something below, just asking about anything about the layout or just, just want to chit-chat in general about crafty things, I would love to hear from you guys. So now I've kind of got everything glued down, and you can see I added some of that silver thread already. I'm going to pop up my photo because I had all of the cut file popped up. Just using some kids craft foam that I got from, I believe, Michael's. And then I'm just going to glue that all down. And then I will work on adding a few more embellishments. I had this pack of stickers. In a minute here you'll see it to the left hand side, or you can kind of see it now. They're clear stickers, and I didn't want just to put them down straight on the page because I knew you wouldn't be able to really see what the sticker said because of the color cardstock or the busyness of the cut file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the stickers and put them on white paper, and then I'm going to trim out the stickers and then use them as kind of like die cuts on the page. So this one is just a little arrow, and I'm going to add this to a little excess strip of paper that I had here, trim it out and set it right there below the photo. And it says Seriously Rad. This is a picture of me and my daughter from maybe 2015. I can't remember. I actually date the page later on. But we went to this thing called Make Tracks to the Zoo, and basically it is a 5K that me and my daughter have been doing now for probably the last 4 or 5 years. We're signed up again this year, and I think she started with me when she was about 6. So walking a 5K with a 6-year-old is very interesting. We made it. We actually did pretty well, but keeping her motivated throughout the whole thing is a bit of a challenge. Usually she is complaining the first half and then seems to get better as the 5K goes on, which I think is interesting. But we end up making it, and it's a tradition, so we've been doing it and we keep doing that. So here's some more of that thread. I think that looks nice underneath the photo, kind of brings some of that kind of white kind of color to the right hand side. And then I'm going to glue down all these pieces, and it's going to kind of cut to the end, and you're not going to see some of the stuff that I do at the very end. I end up turning off the camera and deciding I need a bit more. So I end up stitching through the challenge accepted, and then adding a cluster in the bottom right with a butterfly and some stitching, and then some more zigzag stitching in the top left. So you'll see that in the photo I have at the very end. So this is pretty much wrapping up the video for today. If you, like I said, if you have any questions, leave those below. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, and I will talk to you again very soon. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.